Okay people, drop a like if you missed the good old days when Naruto didn't get mollywopped, stomped out, and obliterated, waiting for Sasuke-kun to save the day. Boruto 49. I just had to start it off with that because I'm just like, whoa, what are you doing to our boy Uzumaki? What have you done to our boy Uzumaki ever since the Hokage era? Because Boruto, I'm just saying, like, yo, you're gonna have our boy in the fights. Like, come on, come on, come on. Boruto chapter 49, people, the plays, the setups, the threats, or promises, whatever you want to call it, from Sasuke to Boruto. Like, this chapter, major setup in a major way. We got Naruto throwing down a little bit taijutsu battle with Isshiki Otsutsuki. We got Sasuke threatening Boruto. We got Boruto kind of getting a little bit more into his character and understanding how worried he really is and what toll this Momoshiki threat is playing on his mind, on what he feels and what's going on. A little bit of something to dive into regarding Kawaki, Amado, and Sai and what he's trying to do. Just a whole bunch of a clusterfuck of insanity with Boruto chapter 49, people. The month wait is over, and despite the fact that we don't have no Kashin Koji, because to be honest with you, that was one of the most interesting subplots that we've had in a while, and this chapter, I definitely was like, where's the one thing? There's something missing. Ah yes, me screaming Jiraiya! So we might not have had that, but we still have some insanity, people. We still got big setups, and the manga that majority of us wait the most every month to get that chapter has finally arrived, people. Boruto chapter 49. Let's talk some of that Boruto manga. Yeah, I was about to say greatness, but I gotta throw in the manga first. Y'all know that anime. Whoa! Boruto manga greatness! Let's do it, people. Let's go!
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be, though.
Okay, people, so Boruto chapter 49 picks up from where the last one left off. Isshiki Otsutsuki, he's sightseeing, he's browsing around Konoha, he's going into the adult toy store. No, we got Isshiki going around, he's obviously looking for Kawaki, and I seen some complaints, so let's start off with that. I seen some complaints because we see him using the Byakugan, he's looking for Kawaki, and he's like, man, it's like trying to find the needle in a haystack, even though, you know, I got this ocular vision or whatever. People are a little bit upset. They're saying like, what the hell? How the hell? With his advanced ocular prowess, is he not able to find Kawaki, even if he's like a bajillion miles away? Like, he should have been able to find them like that, on top of the fact that Amado, up until that point, or Sai, shall I say, hadn't hidden Kawaki yet. Like, that was later on in the chapter, so why didn't he find him unless things were out of, like, the timeline's events? Like, by that point, Sai already had hid him, or is it just like, you know, we're downplaying the fact of how incredible the Byakugan is? Because, like, yeah, maybe he should have been able to see him and find him at that particular point. I guess we're gonna just have to use dispense of disbelief and say that, hey, there's so many people, so many buildings, it's hard. Like, at the same time, you gotta think, this isn't the Konoha of, like, OG Naruto, right? Like, where it's just a bunch of small little buildings or whatever. There's a giant city in the back on top of all that. There's way more people probably now than there ever was, so maybe it's a little bit more difficult, but I could see people's complaints just saying like, yo, these are legendary eyes this dude is wielding on top of whatever the hell this new eye power that he has. Like, come on, fam, come on. But we got some random shinobi walking around, and he's asking them, and they try to get a little bit smart mouth with him, and I'm like, fam, what are you doing? Like, the order was just set, like, don't do nothing, don't be foolish. And one dude gets sliced the hell up trying to throw some shuriken at him. I'm like, yo, at the very least, yo, they were on some no snitching shit, so shouts out to them. But damn, I do gotta say that while, yeah, he's violent, yeah, we've seen him in action and shit like that, I do notice a very subtle trait to Ishiki's character is that he never really wants to go into violence immediately. Like, just think about it. When he went to get Kawaki last time and he fought Naruto and Sasuke last time, it was because Naruto was like, you're not taking him nowhere. And he's like, I bet. Like, he'd say no more. But he, at the beginning of that, was like, yo, I don't want to fight. Like, give me the kid and I'll leave Konoha alone. I don't got no beef right here. Like, it's not a big deal. So when you see, again, him even thanking the one character for being honest and shit like that, that's a little subtle trait of Isshiki Otsutsuki to note. It's noteworthy. By the way, I just gotta throw it in there, not that he was mentioned at all in the chapter, which kind of makes me wonder even more, what's going on with Code, fam? Anybody? Any thoughts? Any theories? Code, where are you? I mean, I know last time we seen him, he was guarding the Ten Tails or whatever, but yeah, just like, this guy's probably going to be more important than we've thought so far. Then we get to Naruto once again telling Boruto, do not get involved. This is not your fight, fam. Like, yo, you a guppy, we're the big fish here, you can't get in this pond, fam, I'm sorry. So it was interesting, and later on we'll get into it, how he was completely defied, and not only by his son, but his best friend, and you know, his mans was like, nah, fam, we'll get into it later. But it is noteworthy to see that Naruto telling his son right in front of everybody, I don't want you a part of this is dangerous, let us handle this. And then later on it's like, the disrespect, fam. Like, if you think about it, you add that with the battle and shit, like, damn, the disrespect to Naruto Uzumaki. What are y'all doing, fam? Why? Then we cut into some introspective stuff where Boruto is talking to Sasuke, kind of reliving the events of what happened during the Boro fight, and how it was basically as if he was watching like a TV version of himself fighting, and he didn't really have control. It was like seeing somebody else moving in his body and whatnot. So it was giving more introspective into Boruto's character and how this is affecting him, because you gotta think, this is huge. Like, this is a fucking alien that can take apart his body at any given point, you know, take control of it and do whatever. So you see that it is affecting him in a major way, and I'm hoping as we move forward, especially whenever the anime gets to this part, even though the anime is the anime, you know what it is, I hope that they dive more into this, because this is really eating him up alive, especially since the last encounter with Boro, where he kind of was taken over and possessed by Momoshiki and went bonkers and shit like that. I want to see more of that. Like, it seems as though it's really bothering him. Like, he went into detail with Sasuke, and he's like, you know, clutching himself and like, man, I don't, what happens if I go that route and shit like that. And later on in the chapter, but we'll talk about it here since we're already on it, Sasuke says some really really heavy shit, because he's like, yo fam, I'm your sensei. I'm that dude. If you go that far, no matter what it takes, because I'm your sensei, I'll kill you, fam. I'll put you down. And people were looking at it and saying, yeah, that's the real dad right there. And if you think about it, in Dragon Ball, it's almost to a certain degree, even though at a certain point it was told differently, that I think it was it Vegeta or Piccolo that said Goku would have never, but in actuality, I think Goku would more so sacrifice his son, like, you know, how he just threw him into the Cell games, full confidence, like, 9-year-old, you got this. And yes, he was actually 9 at that point. I know the dub of DBZ said he was 11 when he fought Cell. Gohan was 9. So, you know, a little bit different, where Goku would actually potentially have Gohan murdered while Piccolo wouldn't. The surrogate father's like, yo fam, I'll put you down in a second, where Naruto probably wouldn't. So just a little bit of comparison there, food for thought, you know, the bad father theory regarding Dragon Ball and Naruto. And then we get to Naruto versus Isshiki, a rematch. They're throwing down taijutsu battle. The disrespect is real, because first of all, Isshiki is barefooted and whipping Naruto's ass. We see his foot slamming into him time and time again, and to be honest with you, I appreciated a certain aspect of it. I appreciated the taijutsu. Taijutsu is one of the things that OG Naruto fans, and I've said it before, but I'll say it again, they craved it. They've said it's a lost art in the Naruto franchise. Even going to Shippuden, people were like, what happened to hand-to-hand combat? What happened to strategy? So seeing that battle, that little skirmish that we got of Naruto versus Isshiki using straight up hand-to-hand combat, I appreciated it. I rocked with it. I did not rock with seeing Naruto getting his ass kicked. Like, I get it, right? And I think it's just a culmination. I think this is like not the straw that broke the camel's back, because it wasn't like, oh my god, it's realistic, it makes sense, this is what should happen, considering we know Naruto got his teeth kicked in last time against a weaker form of this guy. A stronger one, he shouldn't be able to fare at all, right? So it makes sense. It's just a culmination of how many times we've seen Naruto since the Hokage era kind of be rusty and kind of getting his ass kicked, and then, you know, kind of needing rescue. I mean, you take it all the way back to the Naruto Gaiden manga, the Sarada Gaiden manga, whatever you want to call it, when Shin is able to stab through Naruto and shit like that, and even Kurama's like, fam, you rusty. And then we see time and time again against Delta, fam, you rusty. Against Isshiki, he got his ass kicked and needed Sasuke to save him. And then again, after this taijutsu battle between Naruto and Isshiki, Sasuke has to save Naruto again. And that's where a lot of fans, including myself, are just a little bit like, come on, man, it makes sense. I gotta repeat that. It does make sense. Like, he shouldn't be able to do shit against Isshiki. In fact, Naruto and Sasuke, I don't know how the hell they're gonna come up out of this shit, right? Like, it's kind of looking like the warning of death is incoming. But I'm just saying, fam, can we not see Naruto get embarrassed and wait for Sasuke to save him? Like, is that gonna be par for the course? Then again, is Naruto and Sasuke even gonna be par for the course being involved in this story? Like, who knows where this is all going after this battle? It seems like this is going to be a decisive fight leading into that time skip that we're going to see Boruto and company older. So this is going to be very pivotal into the future of things. Like, is Naruto and Sasuke going to be out of the picture out of this? Just one of them? It looks like with this chapter, it's pushing more and more forward that something is going to happen to Sasuke. But you can't ignore the fact of what Kawaki said in the beginning of the series, I'm going to send you the way of the 7th. And then also seeing Boruto's attire at that time as well. It's kind of like, yeah, something is going to happen to both of them. But Sasuke looks more like it could be death. Because while we're on the topic, and again, I'm not going in exact order of what happened in the chapter, but going back to the conversation that Sasuke had with Boruto, where he basically says, you get out of line, I'll kill you. Boruto asks him like, yo, just like during the Momoshiki fight, you lent me your headband, you think you could do the same thing again? And he puts it on, he says, I will return it as soon as we're done, I promise. That's a promise to return it, right? Which, by the way, kind of reminded me of a little bit of like a Shanks Luffy type of deal, if you think about it, with the straw hat, whatever, with the headband. Kind of cool nod there. But also, is there the possibility that this is the last time they're going to have an interaction like that, and basically Boruto has been holding on to Sasuke's headband from that point all the way through to the time skip to that fight with Kawaki when he puts it on again? That's an interesting fact. I mean, for all we know, Sasuke is like a distance away watching the battle between Boruto and Kawaki in the future. For all we know, he's there, but this could very well be like the last time they have an interaction like that, a master and student. I mean, the fandom is gonna go crazy. Like, you know, I was really thinking about this in all aspects. Like, story-wise, it would be insane, incredible, but also the fandom that's been riding with this story for so long, seeing Sasuke die is not going to bode well with a lot of people. A lot of people are gonna be upset. People that don't even read Boruto, all they're gonna see is on a Friday or a Monday or a Wednesday, whenever that chapter drops, Sasuke dead, RIP Sasuke trending on Twitter. People are gonna break their fucking phones, their computers. They're gonna start beating people up. It's gonna be riots in the street. Okay, I don't think it's gonna be that crazy, but people are gonna be very, very upset. So the way they play this, they gotta do it very delicately, but it does seem like there's big death flags all over the place for Sasuke. This could very well be, again, the last time they have that conversation, and Boruto's been holding on to that headband ever since this moment when we see him in the fight against Kawaki in the future. But going back to it, Sasuke obviously showed up to save Naruto. He tells him, yo, start throwing some shuriken, obviously a distraction and whatnot, and he eventually tricks him and throws his sword, but it's actually Boruto, you know, disguised as the sword, and their plan is in motion, which, going back to something I mentioned earlier, so disrespectful to Naruto. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a parent. If I say, yo, my kid doesn't go here because I'm worried about my kid's safety, and you take my kid there, we have a problem. So, I don't know. Obviously, they got this big, massive threat in front of them, so Naruto can't just be like, yo, fam, what the fuck? I told you. What you doing, my boy, bro? You crazy? So he can't do that right then and there. But I'm just saying, this is a conversation at some given point to have, like, hey fam, why did you put my son in danger? Like, yeah, I like it though that they're not completely going off of like the way Dragon Ball did things with Gohan. Again, it's a little bit different. The surrogate father is the one pushing forth opposed to the biological father. Like, you get what I'm saying? But a part of their strategy is Boruto uses karma, which is really dope to see that he's already at this particular point able to use it. And he says, hey, for my first try, that wasn't that bad. And he teleports Isshiki to another place that Ishiki's kind of confused, like, wait, what the hell, where are we, you know what I'm saying? So definitely very interesting that Boruto is able to do that, and at the same time it's kind of like dope strategy. I like the fact that Sasuke took a moment, instead of immediately following Naruto-kun, he was like, yo, let's relax, which is par for the course for Sasuke's character. That pisses a lot of people off in the anime when he doesn't act like this. Like, when he doesn't act strategic and very smart about things, like what the anime does, it's like, fam, Sasuke's smart. Look what he did. He just came up with this little strategy immediately. Because, I mean, we've seen earlier in the chapter that Isshiki is ripping pillars out of the ground in Konoha and shit. Like, let's not destroy Konoha, which also means that if this battle is decided right here and now, and Isshiki has to retreat for some time, let's just say the 2 years before the time skip, then it's possible that the destruction that comes to Konoha isn't going to happen now. Again, that could happen later, and it very well could be at the hands of Kawaki. Because I was throwing the possibility in there of like, well, maybe, you know, we've seen Konoha destroyed, maybe it'll happen now, the destruction will be now, considering again we got like this Otsutsuki god hovering over the damn town, you know what I'm saying? And then cutting back to something real quick that I kind of glossed over, I didn't really get into. Sai taking Kawaki and saying I'm taking him to an Anbu lair, which, you know, shout out to Danzo with all his creep shit. He had a secret fucking lair down there. What the fuck were you doing down there, Danzo, huh? I mean, we kind of know, like, he was doing some creepy shit, which, yeah, if you think about it, like, he was cutting up Uchiha body and ripping their eyeballs out down there and shit. Well, yeah, sick shit from Danzo, but he's like, yo, I'm gonna take him to the lair, and I'll be honest with you, I don't really trust. If you watched my video, I highly recommend, if you want a really good theory video where I broke down why Amado is more than likely playing everybody for a fiddle. That necklace around Shikadai is probably really actually a bomb, and he's playing everybody for fools right now, because he's even questioning like, wait, wouldn't he be able to find you with the Byakugan under there? Which again, it's reasonable questioning, but there's an aura around Amado, and there just seems to be a lot of hints that, like I said in my breakdown video, go check it out, link it in the description, he is the Kabuto to Isshiki Otsutsuki's Orochimaru, and right now he's just playing along, but when push comes to shove, he will be dragging Kawaki's body out of that lair after he probably snaps Sai in half. Like, if you think about it, that'd be the perfect opportunity, right? They're alone, he's very smart, crafty, he'll probably find some way to knock Sai out, take Kawaki, and bounce up out of there, and go to Isshiki. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that is handled. And then we cut to the ending. We got Naruto, Sasuke, and Boruto versus Isshiki in this different dimension, because Sasuke followed through with Naruto to where Boruto went, which again, if I was Naruto, I'd be like, so you made a plan for my son to be alone with this monster in a different dimension, that if it isn't for your power, and if let's just say you're having like a chakra crisis like you would in the anime, we won't be able to rescue my son. Like, are you out of your fucking mind, bro? I'll kill you, you crazy. But overall, chapter, it's not as crazy as the last few, I'm not gonna lie. It was a great setup chapter. That's what it was. It set things up, it set things in motion. Kawaki right now is in hiding in an underground bunker essentially, so we're gonna see where that leads. To be honest with you, I see Amado snapping dude in half and taking that boy out of there. Just a theory there. Curious what you guys think about all this. For starters, was that a big death flag and a big sign that something really bad, if it isn't death, it'll be a sealing of some sort that's going to happen and come to Sasuke, considering Boruto putting on the headband and whatnot? You think that's leading, because it even was kind of paneled similar to how we see Boruto putting on the headband and whatnot in the opening of this whole series in the future. Also, your take on Naruto just getting destroyed. Like, what are they doing here? He gets his ass whipped by Isshiki, gets disrespected by his best friend and son, bringing Boruto along in the fight. Like, what's going on here? Come on, man. What you doing, our boy Uzumaki, fam? What you doing? And your overall thoughts on Boruto chapter 49 moving into chapter 50. Where do you think this is all going to go? Again, great setup chapter, but yeah, I'm ready to see how it's all going to play out in the big 50. This could be, if it ain't 50, it'll definitely be 51. I don't see it passing 51. Maybe 52, but it's unlikely. It'll be 50 or 51, where whatever's gonna go down to put this part of Boruto to a close will happen. I don't see this fight getting dragged out for chapters upon chapters. Like, we got the decisive battle about to go down. That's probably gonna lead it to the time skip. I can't wait to see what plan they're gonna come up with. You know, Sasuke is the strategist. Hopefully it doesn't involve Naruto getting embarrassed. Like, imagine Naruto and Boruto just do some sexy jutsu and that's how Isshiki Otsutsuki is stopped. Like, please no. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And how you think this is gonna go? Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, Isshiki Otsutsuki. Shit is getting real. It got real. It's about to get even realer. Yeah.
It's nights like this, and times like this, that I can give another hit. But I've got this inside a switch, a natural bliss. But